tree knocker over for sure with high-speed winds and a little bit of the rotation here. Fort Frederica National Monument, so the neighborhoods surrounding that, you need to get into your safe place right now. If you're hearing my voice, you're hearing me broadcasting, and you're on St. Simons Island, we just got the update. We get the live update, the jog to the north, and those are things I like to see. Now, to the south of St. Simons, I just kind of want to look at Jekyll just for a moment. So the northern end of Jekyll getting a pretty heavy downpour. This downpour is going to cross over St. Simons Island, and any one of these that come on shore can get a little bit of that spin up, and you get the gusty wind with it. So a lot of folks trying to get work done, a lot of folks trying to secure items there at that southern end of St. Simons, there along the pier, the village. Right now had that storm just lift to the north. That's not the time to relax just yet. We still want to watch this for at least another 20 minutes. Looks like this will go until 11:45, correctly?
Yes.
So this will last for another 24 minutes now as we watch this tornado move, or at least Doppler indicated tornado. Let me be as precise as possible because this is indicated rotation on Doppler. Now, whenever we see that, certainly have the potential for getting the rotation going, but if nothing else, you've got strong gusty winds associated with that. And Lee, explain to the folks what you're showing here with the velocity scans.
So what we're doing is we're essentially looking for spin here, and so let me pause this here. It's a little hard to see with this exact scan, but we're going to look for, say, the lighter color red. It's going to show you, what it shows you is wind going in different directions, and guess what? That's rotation, that's it spinning. So when we look for these different colors on velocity, we're really just looking for different winds going in different directions, and that's where we would have any sort of rotation and a possible tornado. So velocity is just one of the tools we use, but another one you can usually see on radar too, where you have some of the stronger cells and the possibility of spinning. So as mentioned by Lou, this is lifting to the north. I'm going to draw another track on this too, because with the new update, it's going at about 25 miles an hour, so we could get to Faith Church at 11:34 a.m., Needlewood Middle School by 11:39 a.m., and Evelyn by 11:45 a.m. So again, we are on air right now for a tornado warning, but let's just get you a quick big picture because we know what we are not done. Look at that, Lou. There's another tornado warning just to the north of that. And that just tells the story how all of these cells that are moving on shore here have the possibility of spinning up and becoming a tornado. So
the one to the north of Townsend, that would be moving out of McIntosh County, so north of Darien. Again, where this particular cell is over the most populated part of Glenn County. Earlier we saw, if we go, let's go back down to the Glenn County if we could, Lee. I just want to talk, and even, you're going to hear us say the same things over and over again, and again, I apologize for that. It's just the information we've got, and if more people are tuning in, they're getting the alert on their phone, they're just seeing that we've come on the air for this, they need the latest. So just forgive me and bear with me, but this is extraordinarily important because this in particular cell, maybe even a cell behind it, just now moving up and off of Jekyll and moving off and to the west of St. Simons Island. Of course, we've got intracoastal waterways separate. This is right over the marsh right now. So essentially go over the causeway, we're getting over the bridges and into the marshes. The worst of this would now be on that stretch running parallel to Highway 17. If you're driving out of Brunswick on 17, which you shouldn't be doing right now, this is the time to be at the house, okay, in the safe spot. But and we just tightened that warning, and the National Weather Service doing that, and I appreciate that because it lets us hyper focus in on the area we really need to be looking. So an area coming off of Jekyll now into Brunswick, Marshside Grill is a spot that this downpour is over right now with perhaps a little bit of rotation. This cell right up the intracoastal, running again, as I mentioned, parallel to 17, very near the neighborhoods that would be around and near Country Club Estates. And this is the road that you'd be taking up and near Darien. So if you were riding up towards Darien, or if you were thinking about getting in the car, coming out of Darien, coming towards Brunswick, you would be driving right directly towards what is our tornado warned cell right now. Doppler indicated rotation, but nonetheless, potential for extremely strong winds associated with this cell here, Lee.
Yeah, I'm going to take a wide look now. Let's just take a look at the rest of the first coast. We've been seeing these tornado warnings as a possibility all day. So again, we have another tornado warning over southeast Georgia, and we have that tornado warning to the north of it too. Earlier, there was a tornado warning near the Kennedy Space Center, and those are cells that we've also been watching lift north. So right now, that cell moving over places like Palm Coast, and it will continue to move up our coast. Notice all of this rain out in the Atlantic. These are going to continue to lift towards the shore, and any sort of cell that moves on shore has the potential to spin. We could have water spots out there in the ocean, but then once they move on shore, we could start to see some spin there too. So big picture across the first coast, not too bad right now. But for those of you who are watching us and you're saying, just a little light sprinkle out my window, you have to stay on guard all day because the tornado risk continues throughout the day today and into tonight. On top of that, more rain on the way, and the winds are going to pick up as well, especially this evening and overnight. And that's when we could get wind gusts 40 to 60 miles an hour for a good portion of the first coast. But then closer to I-75, there's gusts 75 plus miles an hour. Areas like Lake City, we won't rule out gusts of 90. And by the way, when you get those gusts that are hurricane force, you have to treat that like a tornado as well, because that can cause debris to go flying. So that's why you have to get into a safe spot. Now, again, if you are under a tornado warning, like the area here near Brunswick, let's just zoom back on to this cell here. Remember to get in your safe spot, because that's an area that's an interior room. So no windows and no external walls either. Even if you have a closet or a bathroom that doesn't have a window, if you were able to put a window in that wall, it doesn't count, because we can have debris fly through the wall. I've seen it with my own eyes. Very dangerous situation. Now, also in your safe room, and if you're not under a tornado warning right now, you have the ability to get your safe room ready. In the safe room, you should have a flashlight. You should have something that you can protect your head with. That can be a helmet, like a bike helmet, even a football helmet, or a pillow, a mattress, that sort of thing. You need to have something there that will protect you in case of a tornado, and you have to be in your safe spot. Make sure that you're keeping your devices charged all day. Make sure that you keep your sound on so you get these warnings when they are issued. Right now, we do have this tornado warning that goes until 11:45 a.m. It will continue to lift to the north. Same area where we just had a tornado warning, but again, all of us under that risk of a spin-up tornado all the way through today and all the way into overnight tonight, Lou.
Yeah, and looking up towards like the Altamaha River, this system lifting up and right over the intracoastal, but definitely including Highway 17 there. So there's two things I want to watch, and I was just checking out my radar I keep in my pocket as well, and this cell also showing a little bit of gusty condition. So this has now lifted north of like the pier area, and just now lifting up and north of the St. Simons Airport and crossing over the intracoastal onto Highway 17. So this is, again, I kind of talk about the areas that I know more, like the Country Club Estates area. That's a neighborhood that needs to be watching very carefully with this. And a live look now, this is, okay, I'm walking off camera. I want to get a closer look. I need put my glasses on, but as we get closer to the Sydney Linear Bridge there on Highway 17, this would be taking you over towards Jekyll. Those folks there on 17, and especially, well, I mean, they can't hear me broadcasting right now, but they don't need to be on 17, because what they're literally driving from right here up and over 17 just to the east of Jekyll, going up into Brunswick. So that's where that truck that's just driving right behind me is actually heading into right now, a heavy downpour up 17 through downtown and right near downtown Brunswick. So this cell moving about 25 miles, lifting at 25 miles an hour up to the north, up Highway 17, up and towards McIntosh County right now. So timing things out with this in particular cell, the Brunswick Golden, so when we say the Brunswick Golden Isles area over the next 12 minutes, this would be a lift up throughout that whole of the Brunswick area, as well as Evelyn, small community there here at 51. But by the time we get to 11:51, that will have since expired, and hopefully the rotation will have died out. Will this cross, now looking very carefully, kind of future casting just a little bit as we get an update and a live update, and a lot of this, the strongest rotation now lifting up and over into McIntosh County. But a lot of this rotation here, or at least the velocity scans we're seeing where there's some gusty winds, now up and lifting up into 17. Will it cross 95? It looks like it's all going to stay just to the east of 95, but you can't rule out it crossing up and over 95. So by all means, do not get in a vehicle right now. Now would not be the time to sit up and say, well, I got to go run a couple errands. In Brunswick, in that area, do not get in the car, do not get on 95, do not get on Highway 17, perhaps the Satilla Shores area down south coming up into Brunswick, crossing over the Sound and getting up into the downtown proper area. You'll be running into some really strong thunderstorms there. Can we kind of scan just a little bit up Highway 17, Lee, just a little bit of a storm track? And
yes.
Just kind of riding right up the highway here. So this, we've crossed the Altamaha, it looks like, up to Darien. So this in particular cell will now be out of Glenn County, at least the leading edge of it. Another cell here that looks to be pretty strong. So luckily, when we're highlighting schools that are included in this, but if near the Needwood Middle School area, that in the next 9 minutes, so in the neighborhoods surrounding that, that would be an area of concern for potential strong rotation here. But seeing less of that now as things do begin to weaken. We do have another 13, 14 minutes or so of seeing what we can do with this in particular tornado warning. But this is the kind of stuff, you know, all day long, folks, you're going to be dealing with these rain bands coming on shore. They hit the shallower water, we create water spout activity, and then they hit the land, and we get a good bit of friction, slowing one side of a cell down while another side accelerates, and you just get a big turn, and that's what causes these tornado warnings. Lee?
And this is a good time to mention too, you know, you mentioned how school is out. And we know a lot of people are out or off work. They get to work from school. Looks like this just got canceled.
Yeah, I'm going to just double check.
Awesome, it is. Yep, I see it.
Canceled it. The rotation weakened enough to where they're good with it, and I'm good with it. I'm going to just double check a couple of things with my vision. We had a little lightning strike there on the northern end of St. Simon's Island here, so you're going to hear a little bit of thunder, but just checking in with my friends in Glenn County. For now, we're in the clear as far as tornado warning is concerned, but bigger picture, Lee, looking out back and a little bit wider scan now, we've got rain bands that are to be running parallel to shore the rest of our day and into our evening. This tornado warning up and out of the area, so this is up just north of into McIntosh County and the western edges, but a lot of lightning beginning to pop here. So we're getting a little bit of instability in the atmosphere. We're noticing that with the lightning strikes. That's telling us we're getting a lot of instability. It's going to tell us we're going to get those thunderstorms going inside these feeder bands as well. So anticipate throughout the day, even moving further south now because we're all in tornado watch, more tornado warnings coming. I thank you so much to Lee Southwick. She's been driving this vehicle and giving me all the updates. And we're going to bring you updates as frequently as they come in, as the warnings come in all day long. But let's get you back to your regularly scheduled programming.
This has been a First Coast News on Your Side special report tracking Helene.